active session. If I'm audible, please give me a thumbs up. Thank you, Ratnapriya ma'am. I request all the members to please switch on the camera if it is possible. That will be an encouragement for me. That's how we expect from our students also. Thank you, Simi ma'am. Welcome to today's session. Well, meanwhile, others are joining. I would request everyone to please refer the chat box. You'll find a link there. It's an ice-breaking activity link. Please click the link. You will reach a page where there will be one question. You'll come across one question. You have to put your response there. Is the link visible to everybody in the chat box? Thank you. I'll reshare the link. Don't worry, I'm just repasting it in the chat box. I have reshared. Please refer the link and share the responses. That would help me to understand what complexities we all are going through the responses or in our classes. I can see very few responses on this question. It's ice-breaking activity. Okay, few are writing its unfamiliarity with the content. Lack of interest. Complex legal concepts. Yes, there are. At least for a school student, it is. Oh, somebody is a fresher to the subject. No issues. We'll grow together. We are here to help you. Don't worry. New subject. Okay. I think more or less we all are facing the common thing is lack of attention or interest of the students. Is my screen visible? You can see these are the challenges we all are facing as one, as a team, as educators. These are the challenges. Is my screen visible? The responses by all of you? Give a thumbs up. Thank you. 9 people have responded to this. I'm glad we have an active team sitting here. Good evening, Miss Abida. Okay, let's have some interaction in the chat box. You can see this is a Mentimeter application that I'm using. So anybody, any one of us uses the same in classroom teaching? The way I'm asking you responses through this link, anyone who uses such kind of things in the class? Okay. With the changing times where the CBSE is stressing on the competency-based practice, and very soon we all will witness that the practices of CBSE are going to shift as and would be inspired by IB curriculum where everything is research based and competency based. So it is very important to inculcate that sense. Okay, we somebody is writing that classes are offline, Miss Rajya Lakshmi, and interactive. Okay. Classes are offline. You can always use these links in your homework or quick activities wherein you're taking some extra class online, or you can give these kind of links as homework also. They can respond from their home, and next day in the class, if you have a project in the class, it can be shown to the students. The way I'm showing you the responses, you can also show the same to your students. I hope we all have gone through this. Let's start the session. Let me share my screen with you. Is my screen visible to you? We do exit notes on sticky notes. It's same but different. It's the exit activity. That's also a good option. Okay. So majorly what the session is about, how to make legal studies an interesting and interactive subject. We all know as humanities students or somebody from a background from humanities that are any subject of humanities, the main subjects, they are majorly information intensive. They have a lot of information, and students these days they are more inclined towards 2 minutes Instagram or Reels or YouTube videos rather than going to the text and reading. So, how to inculcate that sense of responsibility that if you aspire to be a lawyer, you can't get away with the documents. We have to read them. So, I'll help you with few things, few techniques where you can inspire the new learners and how to active learning. Anybody who knows about what is active learning? We all are educators and we keep updating ourselves. What is the difference between active learning and passive learning? Anybody? You can raise your hand, I'll unmute you. You can raise your hand if you want to answer. I'm asking, what is the difference between active learning and passive learning? You can write in the chat box if you think that, ma'am, what about when school expects us not to use textbook or lecture method, consistent current awareness news? Okay. See, when we talk about not using the textbook, this is not possible. This is our Bible. Especially for legal studies, I've been teaching legal studies from past 5 years. Otherwise, my teaching background is of 15 years of experience. So, special emphasis to legal studies. I have seen that you can't get away with the book. That is an important document because no question comes outside the textbook. Line by line, I have observing. I act as an HE in the board examination of grade 12. So what I have observed over the time that every line of the question paper is coming from the textbook. But how you are using that textbook for an interactive session, that's a different thing. That's what we are going to learn. School expects us to get away with the lecture, but lecture method and textbook method. They are not saying not to give lectures, but they are saying that you need to be a little bit interactive. And how? There are various ways of being interactive in a class. I have changed my slide. I respect all the teachers. I just expect them to go through, monitor the screen. There's a difference between passive learning and active learning. We all know it. It's just the terminologies. They may be different. So when we talk about passive learning, here somebody is writing passive is more teacher centric, where students passively receive info. That's what the rote learning methods, the lecture method that we have seen, the millennials have seen in their times, but the time has changed. Now we have to give the information, but in a creative manner. How it has to be creative? Through the active engagement. If you want, you can note it down. I'll stay on this slide because this is very crucial slide for any educator. And it will not only cater legal studies, but it will cater all the subjects. You can take a screenshot or you can note it down, whatever suits you. Now, why it is important, why we are facing this problem? Because most of us knowingly, unknowingly are using passive ways of conducting a class. Initially, I also had a problem. In fact, my principal called me and said that it is all social science going on because that was my subject before legal studies. So she simply said that it's social science going on in the class, not legal studies. And I have another level of pressure because my principal is also an ex-lawyer. So she knows in and out. So I have to plug myself a lot, and trust me, I completely understand your challenges. That's why I have put this slide especially for you people that you can explore these. Now, going forward, that how can you make things? We all know about group discussions, debates, but here the new things that can be added for legal studies student is the court visits, the interaction by experts. How many people have taken their students to any court visit? You can mention in the chat box, or if you will raise and I'll unmute you. Okay. Miss Rajalakshmi, Mr. Rahul, Mr. Arjun, Miss Sumega as well. Very nice. So have you seen any difference? Akansha, Miss Akansha, I'm unmuting you. I think you want to speak. I've unmuted you. Yeah, you can unmute yourself. Just check. Miss Akansha. Okay. Well, so basically, when we talk about an interactive session or an active engagement of the student, we are basically asking our own surroundings first to be interactive. How? When you give a responsibility to a student, I would always prefer any of us should not start a chapter with a book. Never. It's a big no. Why? Because looking at the book, and especially when they have to download it and get it printed, it's all black and white. Not everybody is getting a color book. So we already have a pressure. I would always suggest that when you start your class, always have an ice-breaking activity. The way we had here in the session, that's how we start our classes. That's how I start our class. That where the children are contemplating and thinking, so analyzing about the current scenario. Recently, when I was teaching about the difference, how the center and state may have a clash and how Supreme Court solves it. So I remember it was my last batch of 12th. I gave them an example of the ongoing clash between LG, Delhi, and Delhi government. We entire class and we all followed that particular case, and then later on we came to know how Supreme Court maintained the state government regarding the transfer of IAS PCS. But what happened after that? An ordinance came, and central government had an upper hand. That shows. So these kind of things really make things simpler. Plus, students can associate what are they doing. But hota kya hai? We all are. I hope if I'm going all in English, nobody has a problem. Or you want me to be bilingual, I can do that. Anybody has a language constraint, please feel free to ask. बात कर सकते हैं. I'm so sorry. I would have asked this. Thank you, Rahul sir. Thank you so much. So जब हम बात करते हैं क्लास में किसी भी टॉपिक को पढ़ाने की, तो मेरा जो मेजर व्हाट आई इवन इन 10th 11th 12th आई से कि हमें एक्टिविटी से स्टार्ट करना है. सो व्हेन आई आस्क्ड माय स्टूडेंट्स टू get the insights of this case, we as a team followed this entire case. And when Delhi government won the case, there was a catch after some days when there was an ordinance passed by the president and overturned the decision given by Supreme Court. So real life scenarios are very important. In fact, in every subject, not just mine or yours, legal studies, I can see teachers teaching other subjects also. So when you give real life context to them, you give real life experiences. Sometimes there are webinars also from experts. Those, when you expose your children to those experiences, that makes a difference. I have a question from everybody here. How many of you have taken your students to moot court? I repeat. Okay. Miss Akansha has taken Soumya ma'am, Soma Ranjan. Okay. Moot courts are really helpful. You can even conduct not exactly a moot court because it's a very extensive process. Oh, somebody has conducted it in the school also. That's wonderful. I have 50 students per class. We conduct our own. That's great. In North, we have few students. Not my class is really small. We maximum have a class of 25, and my subject there are just 10 students. Or somebody has again conducted. So these kind of sessions, this is wonderful that some of you are really conducting it. But in case we have conducted MUN, MUNs are everywhere. These are also helpful because we have International Court of Justice in MUN. So if you are getting an opportunity as International Court of Justice, that's also a wonderful experience. Now, our students needs to be pushed to such activities. We need to encourage them because there is no volunteer participation. I really have to push sometimes, some of them. So our role as educators is now just to deliver information, but to facilitate learning. When I say learning, first of all, we have to keep in mind that the children sitting in front of us may have information. They have been exposed to information too early, but they do not have that capacity to understand the gravity of the changing scenario. So, first of all, I would request everyone to please unlearn one thing, that is to have notions about any student. Stop taking feedbacks about student from their previous teachers. This is a wrong practice by every educator. We don't do that. Let's have our own experiences and observations. That is very important. And be humble. You are really above them. वो कुछ भी कहें. Sometimes they do bad mouthing, they make faces, but let them be. You're here to make them, empower them at least. We are not here to make them anything, just to empower their learning experience. So that's our job. Let's stick to that. So when we talk about discussions, we talk about critical thinking, we talk about showing current videos where different cases are explained. They all gradually synced into these practices. I have seen children changing. Somebody who was never interested in legal studies ran coming from commerce class saying कि मैम मेरा favorite class शुरू होने वाला है मैं जा रहा हूँ. So that's how things change, but you have to be patient. So I will tell you few things, like I have already told you that these are the maps, graphic organizers. These are the ways how you inculcate the interest of the student. And somebody was saying we have offline class. I also teach offline. We are at offline school, but I carry my laptop. I don't know whether your school is facilitating such things. We have, if you have a laptop, uh, the system supports you, or you have this PPT facility in the class that you can show through projectors, then this is going to be really helpful. And if your school is asking you to get techniques in the class, please humbly ask them to provide you infra as well. Projector is a very simple and basic thing, a smart board. I hope we all have a smart board and a projector in the class. So I don't think so. There is a problem about showing PPTs or videos. Oh, fine. Majorly, I can say mostly schools have. That's good. That's good. Please use it. Use it. Not just to show a PPT or a video, but you can show them a real case, ongoing case. Go to explore the websites of high courts. Every high court is a virtual court now. Do you show your students those court hearings, virtual court hearings? Anybody who has exposed their students to virtual court hearings, YouTube में channels हैं? Please mention in the chat box if you have shown your students any virtual hearing. Yes, it is important. So you need to have one thing in mind, that is active learning. You have to have, as an educator, learn few things. How many people teach classes other than 11th and 12th? You think you have too much work that you can't manage many things at one time. Okay, Mr. Vishwa Badrinath, I'm impressed that you've actually showed them the difference between the real courtroom or movies Bollywood has actually ruined. They have misinterpreted the way Akshay Kumar comes in the court. The judge will throw him out in real life. Okay, I have history, political science in 10th in two sections. The pain is mutual. I all four of social science in grade 10. Tamil soaps I've done. Everybody, not just Tamil, everybody is doing that. So we need to expose our children to real scenarios. And trust me, when you take them to such scenario where lawyers are around or they are talking about something concrete, try to bring change in society, students get connected. This is, I'm telling you from my personal experience, because when you teach in the class, for example, you're talking about that India has a tendency of power sharing. We follow that. How would you show them power sharing? You have to tell the arrangements that, see, we have levels of government. We as citizens of India have been empowered. Okay. I have a very interactive lot with me, and I'm glad you are better than the students. We educators are really interactive. Somebody has shown Patna case. But please, one thing here I would like to bring into your notice. In fact, a gentle reminder for all the educators sitting here, the changing scenario. Please refrain from showing any controversial thing. Because this also come to my notice that sometimes students are being exposed to information should not be. They explore themselves as a legal studies student, that's fine, but do not expose them to any very harsh kind of, you know what I'm talking, any ugly case which you think it's not age appropriate. Parents may come up with a compliance, and do not recommend any web series or any content, broadcasting content to them when it comes to movies, because they all are A plus A. They have got A certificates, most of them, even if they are legal, either because of the language or some nudity, they are getting A certificates. We have seen a teacher's suggestion backfired her. So this is, please note it down somewhere, that do not recommend any web series to any student. This is for your safety as educators, I'm telling you. So this is one thing. You recommend them some, you can show them some piece or part of that. Like I have seen, yeah, we can prefer cases like Sabrimala, that's a very good case. So even right to privacy or the existing cases about different environment concerns, any constitutional topic. And whenever they come up with any controversial thing, because they are children and they will be exposed to information, try to settle them. Don't give them your opinion. Please refrain from giving your opinions in class. They may backfire, they may be misinterpreted by the students. You need to have a connect with your students. Oh, just a second, there is a power cut at my end. The weather conditions are not good here. So I hope I'm audible to all. I hope I'm audible. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Simina. So this is one disclaimer. We have to make the introducing various activities. I will be sharing one PDF also in my group. There is this legal studies group, legal studies and pol science group of this publication, Cremson publication. I am there and I'll be sharing one document for you all. You can refer the document to plan your lessons further. Case-based studies, concept maps, and moot courts. They all help by inculcating critical thinking, competency-based questions. How many people make their own papers, or there's a central team you get your papers from? We need to make competency-based questions as well, that the children will be able to, okay, somebody says they are making it. I also make my own papers. Mr. Nath, I have a suggestion for you. In case if you have any parallel school of yours, any branch of yours, please contact the teacher. Otherwise, you please join our group. I'll facilitate you people. I would love to facilitate you all in this journey where you're not able to comprehend things because the management is also new. I came across one teacher in All India group where they had the same problem. He was from Chennai. So that teacher was also facing the same problem. They had from ICSE board, they had legal studies in. Please have a network. As lawyers, also we need to create a network, and for educators also at this point of time, we can exchange resources. Oh, you take all branches of your school. Is it an online school? Okay. So when you make papers, make sure, or you have to travel from, it's hats off to you. It's tough job. No worries. You please join our group. I'll help you out with the same. Don't worry. Our host will help you all with the group link. Chetan sir, am I audible to you?
Yes, I'm gonna share the WhatsApp
So
link.
please kindly share. I'll be sharing few documents now that will help us all to frame our lessons and make our sessions interactive. And in fact, I'll keep sharing the study material also with you all so that you can move further with your own planning. I want you people to be interactive now. Anybody wants to share any specific concern about that they are facing in the class, you're allowed to speak. Kindly raise your hand so that you'll be unmuted. Ratnapriya ma'am has raised hand. Chetan sir, can we unmute her or she can unmute herself? Or we have to do it?
We have to do it, yeah.
Sir, kindly unmute her because I'm not able to. Though I'm trying, but I'm not able to.
Wait a minute.
Hello.
Yeah, Ratnapriya ma'am, you're audible.
Good evening, ma'am. Good
Good
evening,
evening.
everyone. So one of the major concerns that I have been facing since the textbook has been revised, the new CBSE textbook has a lot of problems. So when students, especially in class 12th, because they have to appear for CLAT, most of the students, somehow they have this in their head that if they want to be lawyers, CLAT is the only way. So for preparation for CLAT examination, because it happens in the first week of December, they start missing school by the end. You will hardly see legal studies students coming to school in the month of October, November. After that, they just
Exactly.
vanish. And in that short time, when we try to cover the topics, like personally, I cover ADR, law of contracts, topics in law 2 and 3. These are the topics which I know that they'll not be able to do themselves. They need our helps. But the problem with the textbook is major because it's very repetitive. It's copy pasted from here and there. If you would have noticed, Drishti IS से उठा करके pages डाले हुए हैं उसमें. Some text is omitted, some articles are omitted, few things are repeated again and again. So it becomes the biggest problem that I face is to justify that text. And it's a CBSE textbook, so there's not much. Like for example, with NCERT textbooks, I remember it happened in class 10th, if you remember. Once the date for Kheda Satyagraha was wrong in class 10th in the NCERT one edition. But at that time, it was NCERT, so they take ownership. With CBSE textbooks that are being shared online, that problem is one of the major ones. How do we convince the students ki sahi kya hai? And then the coaching sheets that they get, most of the students who are preparing for CLAT, unke paas sheets hain. And the kind of preparation that they're getting there, especially for topics like torts, let's say. Torts में we face, क्योंकि CBSE का content is very limited, while the
Yes.
kind and to match that, it becomes a challenge कि इतने कम time में, whether we prepare them for board exam or we prepare them for CLAT, and the child is everywhere, and फिर वो
Ma'am,
CLAT का
I
अगर
have I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but I have a strong urge to ask this question. Is your school catering CLAT also?
no, we don't have a coaching class as such, but most of the students who come for legal studies, like we have it as an optional subject. So the students from commerce, they are with that open because they want to go for corporate law. So unke liye CLAT is the only option. So majorly it's CLAT. The combination they opt for is applied maths with legal studies
Okay.
for CLAT. So it's
Mm.
a big problem for us to to tell them that. And then another thing, this session, since legal studies is no longer a domain subject for CUET, this
Yes, it's
has
not from this
resulted
year.
in,
This is
yes,
so
so
sad.
this year 5 to 10 students. This year I'm not taking class 11th because I was given class 10 social sciences and I take political science already. So this year almost 10 students, 10 to 12 students dropped out of legal studies, and they instead chose political science. They said, ma'am, at least CUET UG mein we'll have one domain subject. So this
They
is
don't
also a
understand.
problem.
Yeah, they don't understand why the policy makers don't understand that such things may have a long-lasting repercussion. It's a chain
Yes,
of reaction.
till last year, when I started this subject in my school, I was the one who started it, and it was a very gradual thing. From 15 students, we were going up. This year, we had almost 30. But after this decision, they got to know कि CUET mein it's not going to be useful. That's how students judge a subject, how useful it is going to be. So they started dropping out of it. And now, how do we justify? This is the second challenge that we are facing in generating interest in the subject. And thirdly, of course, the fact that there's so much content, and when we try to make it relevant, many a times, like for example, you all must have noticed in class 11th, you are teaching the first unit, interest is okay, but by the time we reach family law, institutional law, there is so much interest, and it's not actually, it's just curiosity. अच्छा मैम, तो फिर इसकी
Yes.
प्रॉपर्टी इसके पास कैसे जाएगी, इसकी, to base that in the contextual form, and to actually stick to the syllabus at that time, because they come up with all sorts of questions. Like just 2 days back, a discussion somehow started in my class over caste, how the caste of a child, मम्मी की कास्ट होगी या पापा की कास्ट होगी, किसकी होगी, and it stemmed from religion question. And now, to base that entire discussion into the syllabus framework with the time constraint, the rigidity of the syllabus, it becomes too difficult, because it's a very broad domain. बच्चों के पास सवाल होते हैं, and it's a good
So
thing that they're
that's
thinking.
they are inquisitive and they will come up. Mr. Vishwa Badrinath, give me just 2 minutes. I'll give you the platform to speak. Please give me 2 minutes. So, as far as this concern of limiting their queries, you can't limit them. But yes, somewhere we need to diplomatically get away with any personal interactions, especially when it comes to own personal examples. Please refrain, because if you say something, they'll misinterpret or interpret in a way that may backfire you. So refrain from giving any, if they come up with it, mummy ka aisa, papa ka aisa, bacha, we will not encourage any personal discussions here. Let's stick to. And in fact, avoid saying if A murders B, always use the third person. I don't know why students come up with their personal examples in such scenarios where there are criminal situations, there are disputing situations. So always discourage them. I don't know what they are manifesting by giving such examples. So this is one thing, and please make your students understand that this book is not meant for CLAT. This is, I'm saying, this is not meant for CLAT. And if they really want to do CLAT, they can always go for a separate curriculum which is offered by coachings. And if you don't want to go to any coaching, they can always buy mocks, and you can cater their doubt if you really want to help them. Because I do cater my students' doubt. All those who are going to coaching centers or they have just purchased the mock test papers, I keep catering their doubts, but in a personal capacity. My school has no pressure. They haven't pressurized me to cater the doubts, but it's my connect with my students that I cater their doubts. So please make this thing clear in your classrooms that this is not to be catered. The CLAT will not, this book is not suffice. Please. I'll get back to this in detail. I would like Mr. Badrinath to please unmute himself. You can speak, sir. Yes. Mr. Vishwa Badrinath, you can speak. Chetan sir, he's unable to unmute. Can you please help us?
Hi, good evening. Sorry for my environment. I'm in a different place, but I just really wanted to attend this meeting. So I am a fresh teacher. I just passed out of my LLM in international law and development with a bronze medal in the university, and I just came into the teaching profession. And before I could, go to colleges and, be as a professor, I thought, okay, let me first teach schools and see how students are interacting, because these students only will come to the college, right? So that's why I wanted to join school academics, and I just ended up in a school in Chennai. I work for both of their branches as legal studies. So I'm actually I'm the only person working in the department. So legal studies thing. So now, I mean, like, as a good teacher, what I faced is the one or two things I wanted to tell you. One is that the CBSE book is so bad that, I mean, like, I'm so sorry if I'm using this language, but it's
We
so
all
bad
agree.
that, yeah. See, I mean, I generally start teaching anybody with jurisprudence. They have given the jurisprudence in third unit. Okay. Uh, so they have given the jurisprudence unit in third unit, and when I started with third unit, the problem is that they said that history of jurisprudence, uh, and they said they gave one photo of Plato walking with some 3-4 persons, and immediately they moved into some case which is not at all relevant to the history of jurisprudence. So what I had to do is I had to fill in it all your law and morality, Hart and Fuller debate, and everything. See, luckily my students like them. I mean, who doesn't like to hear stories? So they like them a lot. Uh, uh, so that's the thing. That's one thing that I face. It's very bad. And the second one I really face is that the content that they are giving is very shallow. So I am fearing that if I could give more extra examples that will rather confuse them rather than making them understand things. Because they're all young minds, just 16, 17 years. College students itself, 20, 21 years, children itself, if we give them, you know, content which is from their syllabus, if they say breach of contract, and I give
Hmm.
and in the syllabus if it's mentioned about one particular case, and I give them some local their jurisdiction's case as kind of this thing. So that itself they call it as out of motion. So in this
Okay.
scenario, how will I teach the 12th standard students about that? That were the two concerns that I am right now having about teaching.
Okay. Thank you so much. Anybody else wants to share their concerns? I can see there are 24 people in the meeting, including Janvi. Somebody has just joined. Well, dear educators, as far as the book is concerned, we can't do anything about it. We can simply write it to CBSE. I have already written it. I was there this year. I was the HE for legal studies. And the paper also, the way they ask us to check 25 papers in one day, they have kept it as an optional subject, but it's a 80 marks paper. So with that feedback, I have written them to even look into the textbook, but to my knowledge, they haven't updated it yet. But what can we do here is, first of all, that you have to give them too many real examples of cases. It will be all cluttered here. वो अभी बहुत छोटे हैं for this. What you can do is, rather than first giving them a real case example, you can give them hypothetical examples at their age. Age appropriate examples are really important. The way you will start using that heavy legal vocabulary, they will mentally vanish from the class. You will only have the bodies with you, but not the minds. So I would be first giving this suggestion to all the teachers here, that please give them simple hypothetical examples. And if you do not know how to get these examples, I'll give you a simple tip. Please use ChatGPT in an effective manner. If you feel that you are totally new, you can give effective prompts to ChatGPT. It will give you n number of real examples, simple examples, age appropriate examples. And then from there, you can level up your examples. For example, first unit, you are giving normal examples, simple examples. With progressive syllabus, you can always come up with complex examples as well towards the end. As far as grade 11 is concerned, Of course, I know, as you are, some people are graduate law graduates here, some are postgraduates here, and the way we have read, the book is not that. And trust me, we need to make ourselves understand this is school, this is not college, and they are minors. So first, whatever we have, this is one thing I believe in. Whatever I have, wherever I am, I'll start with that. This is my philosophy of life. Things will come. When I'll start, things will fall in place. So please go with a open mind. You need any content help, we will provide. The publication will provide. Don't worry, we'll be providing you specimens also of a better content. But you as an educator have to be open about few facts. That hand holdings, this is one thing. You have to handhold your students initially to inculcate their interest in the subject. You can have interactive sessions, you can play games in the class. I always, whenever my students say we will not study in the class, I don't push them. I simply say let's play a game, and we come up with a game. And trust me, it's an open book game. Whenever I ask them to play a game, I always ask them to, it's an open book. They feel like I'm not teaching, but my strategies I'm actually teaching. So when they go through open textbook gamings, up ChatGPT say you can always consult such gamings. This will ease out the tension in the air, and in fact, when they laugh, they giggle in the class, they interact with you in a lighter mood. They all are inclined. They gradually will incline to the subject. So please, let's not take this as a challenge कि book में content कम है. Book में वही content है. The content is sufficient for this age group of 16, sometimes 17, 18. इससे ज़्यादा नहीं होगा, इससे कम नहीं होगा. So the sufficient content is there. How to deliver it effectively is our part. You can always use the notes. I hope you have seen the sample paper that we have published last year. I had put the quick notes there. How many people have seen the sample papers that we have released last year for grade 12? It has competency-based practice also. You can use the chat box to answer. We are in a process of updating our question papers as per the new session. Soon you will receive a specimen. I'll make sure that we all receive one specimen. That would be my help, the publications help as a team for you all. You can recommend this book. Now what it has, I'll put few glimpses in the group also once you all join. So this book has quick notes liners for the students as well as for the educators. Plus, they have practice papers, 80 marks practice papers, which you can use to make your own papers, or you can even practice only, because that I don't want content from that book. I've already given this for my students. So we all are using it. I request you all to use such kind of books. Help books are really helpful here. Because if you think that the CBSE is going to tackle your situation, they are not. We all have to help each other out. For quick notes, we will soon be taking out our main book, that is grade 12 legal studies, not the sample paper, with content and practice questions. So that particular book will also cater all your problems. Don't worry. In between, if you will permit, if you're interested, I'll conduct an active learning session as well after some time, so that you can come across any challenge progressively if you're facing after this workshop. Need for class 11. Miss Simi, soon we will be taking out for 11th and 12th both. That would be catering everybody's needs here. I hope everybody is taking a note of the screen as well. I have put a slide for you all. Meanwhile, we are talking, I've put a slide. You can take a screenshot or you can note it down, whatever suits you. These are the few things that you can add into your lectures. Role play is one interesting thing, trust me. Jurisprudence, do a role play. That would help them understand. So, in short, I would like to conclude by saying that we need to be surviving with the same book, unfortunately, for this session at least. But yes, you can always refer the specialized notes by Cremson publication. We'll be soon releasing the updated notes. And okay. And here, that's good that you will be provided the recorded session also. I would request you all to take one thing in mind when you enter the class, that you're here to empower them. Don't judge them, help them. And if you think that the book is not sufficient, take a day, ask them that I'll simplify it for you. You can always simplify things. And we as a team will be working together. Don't worry, from today onwards, we are one team and I'll help you out with the session 2025 in the pedagogies. If you want, we can be specific. If we can have another session in the coming future about the pedagogies. If you are new to teaching, somebody who's very new to senior secondary school, we can help you. You can always put your suggestions in the group, WhatsApp group they are going to join. Anything else somebody wants me to address? Because I'm in a habit of active class and here only I'm speaking much most of the time. Any specific concern somebody wants me to address, I'm there. You can use the chat box. Gaurangi says, please, pedagogy session in new to. Okay. We can always plan. Moot court is under process. I strongly felt this gap that the students need to be trained about moot courts also, but before that, we need to educate and train our teachers. So soon we'll be sharing a link and we'll invite you for a moot court session as well as pedagogies also. Don't worry. Chetan sir, could you please share the link of our chat, the WhatsApp chat group?
Yes, I have just shared it on the chat.
Okay, kindly pin the particular link.
Sure.
Otherwise, every in the chat box, we have written so much in the chat box.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
kindly pin it. Yes. And somebody is asking about a sample paper also. It is online available. You can always buy. There is a link. Cremson Publications purchase link. You can buy it from there. Sir has just shared the chat box. I think a chat that WhatsApp chat group. I would request everyone to please join. I'll be in on and off. I'll be providing you with the help material. Anybody has any queries regarding any of the chapters, I'll be there. Why you want PPTs? PPT is something which will discourage your student to get to NCERT or any book. That would be the last thing to be used in the class. Getting a Word doc with some information is a different thing, but avoid PPTs. They don't go back to the textbook. This is something which was encouraged during COVID time, but now we are getting away with this practice because the gap is already built by COVID. They are not reading textbooks, trust me. And thanks to AI applications, they hardly read now. You can get PPTs, yes. We will provide, don't worry, we'll provide. I do use PPTs during my sessions when I prepare them for board exam revision sessions. I use PPTs for. till the time I don't expose them to PPTs, but then yes, we'll help you out. I think I have shared enough information for the day. If anything left, you are welcome to write it in the chat box. Thank you so much. And I'm glad that we have teachers who are inspiring the minds, the young minds, for such a great subject, which will not just make them a lawyer, but an aware citizen. That is the most important part of education, that we all become aware and empowered citizens. Looking forward to see you all again, to hear, and next time see also. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Miss Janvi, you can always use role play for a jurisprudence. Miss Janvi, if I'm audible to you, you are writing in the chat box, how can we make jurisprudence chapter interactive and engaging? Please use role play. This is the best thing I have done in my class for jurisprudence. Again, the bye-bye talk, do not judge your students. Don't take feedbacks. This is ethically wrong. We are not lonely. We are a team now, henceforth. Nobody is lonely now. I'm always there. Don't worry. Miss Janvi, we are there. We are there as a team. But I just request to be patient because I'm also engaged into classes and consultative role as a lawyer. So I will be needing some time to respond to your WhatsApp queries. I just request to you to be patient. Thank you, Soumya ma'am. Thank you.
Anuradha, ma'am, is it
Yeah.
done?
Yes, sir, I'm done.
So
I'm done. I was just going through the chat box. If you want to take up the session further, you're free. I am done from my side. Thank you so much, all the educators.
yeah, thank you each one of you for joining us today. And a special thank you for Miss Anuradha Thakur, ma'am, for sharing such
Thank you,
insightful,
sir.
engaging perspectives. Have a great evening.